Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Hello friends, myself Niyati Chauhan, Assistant Professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology, Department of Instrumentation and Control. Our subject is Environmental Instrumentation. In this subject, we have started Unit 3, Sedimentation and Flotation. So in today's session, I discuss about types of sedimentation and types of settling. In chapter 2, we have studied water supply treatment process. In water supply treatment process, there are different process we are using for treated water. So you know that sedimentation process you can see in diagram. In sedimentation process, particles are settled down at bottom side, right? So we can say that if impurities are randomly movement in water, so after sedimentation process, we can purify water and impurities are settled down at bottom side. Types of sedimentation. There are two types of sedimentation process. Number 1, plain sedimentation, and number 2, sedimentation with coagulation. So see, first plain sedimentation. Plain sedimentation, that means simple sedimentation, right? Impurities are easily settled down at bottom side. Here we are not adding any coagulants, right? Naturally particles are settled down at bottom side. So this is a simple process and is known as plain sedimentation. Next, sedimentation with coagulation. In this process, we are adding coagulants, right? Coagulants, that means plus charges, right? Positive charges we are adding in water because impurities have negative charges, right? So impurities negative charge and coagulants positive charge, making bond, right? So after bond, they can easily settle down at bottom side, right? So here you can see, first you have to know about coagulation, right? So in coagulation, finely divided means impurities such as silica, clay, etc. do not settle down easily, right? Impurities are not settled down easily, hence cannot be removed by sedimentation. Okay, by using simple sedimentation, we cannot settle down that all particles, right? So here we are adding coagulant. So silica, clay are negative charge. So and also low weight charge. Such impurities are removed by coagulation method. So here we are adding Al2SO4 3, right? Aluminium sulfate we are adding in process, and aluminum sulfate, that is one type of coagulant. So after process we get aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium hydroxide has more weight and they can easily settle down at bottom side. So you can see in diagram, in raw water, we are adding coagulant, right? And after adding coagulant, in process, we get some impurities, and impurities come outside, and after process we get treated water, right? So this process is known as sedimentation with coagulation. Next, types of settling. There are 4 types of settling. Number 1, discrete settling. Number 2, flocculation settling. Number 3, hindered settling. And number 4, compression settling. We know that in settling process, particles are settled down at bottom side. Okay, and this process is known as sedimentation. So in sedimentation process, particles settle down. So there are different types of settling. Okay, first, pure water at top side. Okay, so this is a clear water. Then in next layer we get discrete particles, right? And we know that discrete particles never make bond with other particles, right? So they are randomly movement in this layer. So this is discrete settling, then flocculent settling, right? Then hindered settling, and last compressed settling. All particles settle down at compressed settling. Okay, so you can see here one graph is shown in diagram. On x-axis we have taken time, and on y-axis we have taken settling velocity. If time is increased, then settling velocity is decreased. Okay, after long time, settling velocity will be decreased. Okay, so this is a different layer of settling. Next, MCQ. First question, blank is the process of slow mixing to provide interparticle contact. First option, settling basin, then discrete particle settling, then coagulation, and last flocculation. Right? So answer is flocculation. Okay, in flocculation process, particle mixing, right, and very slow process. You can see in diagram, before sedimentation, particles interface with flocculation process, and this is a very slow process. Next question, particles settle individually without interaction with neighboring particles is known as number 1, settling basin, then discrete particle settling, then coagulation, and flocculation. Okay, so in discrete particle settling, there is no any interaction with other particles. Okay, so answer is discrete particles. Next, the mass of particles tend to, next third question, the mass of particles tends to settle as a unit with individual particle remaining in fixed position with respect to each other is known as. So first, discrete particle settling, then coagulation, then settling basin, and at last hindered settling. So answer is hindered settling. Next question. Question 4. Settling velocity increase with options are drag force, residual chlorine, depth of tank, and centrifugal force. Right? So settling velocity increase with depth of tank. Right? If depth of tank increase, at that time also settling velocity of particles is increased. Next MCQ. In stroke flow, gravitational force acting on a sphere of radius is equal to, answers are 4 by 3 into pi into r cube rho into g. Next option, 3 into pi into mu into r into v. Then 18 into pi into mu r into a. And last option, 6 into pi into mu into r into v. So true answer is 4 by 3 pi r cube rho into g. Okay. So this is stroke law, and I have explained stroke law in last lecture. Okay. If you have any query regarding MCQ and regarding any topic, then you can ask me. Thank you for listening me.